players at first base to open each of the first 3 Grapefruit League games. One is Adam Frazier, another one is Jared Triolo, and another one is somebody named Derek Hall. And yeah, that's what they're doing. But wait, there's more. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is, note the big sigh, daily shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Other players that management is considering utilizing at first base in the absence of injured Spencer Horwitz are Nick York, Matt Gorski, Malcolm Nunez, and Jack Sawinski, who I've never seen take a ground ball in my life. This is what they're doing. They're having, and they're speaking of it openly, a competition. Greg McAfee, our reporter for DK Pittsburgh Sports down in Bradenton, Florida, asked Derek Shelton about this yesterday.
Is there anything you're specifically looking for in terms of, I guess, finding a replacement for Spencer earlier in the season?
No, right now we're just trying to get reps for different people. And because we have the at-bats, and honestly, like Frazier got over there today, we have a bunch of middle infielders. So to be able to get Frazier at-bats and get him over there and see how it goes, I think you'll see a wide variety of guys at first as we're continuing to make our decision. It will not be a decision that we will make early in camp. It's probably going to be a lengthy, I don't want to say audition, but trial for different people over there. And the challenging part of it is when you get guys over there, okay, there's the ground ball that Frazier got today. We know he can catch the ground ball. It's going to be seeing guys when they have to get in a cut situation, how they're doing on tags, what they're doing playing behind guys. And one of the things I think we'll try to do is get guys over there as much as possible, because in spring training, you don't have a lot of reps on those plays. So we're really paying close attention to the plays they have and the plays they don't have to try to make sure that we get as many looks as possible.
That sounds like a process that's being taken seriously, at least by somebody on the inside. Now, this is, of course, Ben Cherington's realm, not Shelton's. But at the same time, what are they doing? We're talking so much about the missing corner outfielder and how the main move of the offseason might still be ahead, and it would, of course, have to do with that corner outfielder, that maybe it's gotten forgotten that they never really addressed the other grand opening in this lineup, and that's first base, because it's been first base for a very, very, very long time, like maybe back to Kevin Young, before that, Willie Stargell. Am I exaggerating? Who am I missing? I've got Pops and I've got KY and I've got nobody. It's kind of hard to miss when first baseman's in need. And I can start that with Horwitz himself. Setting aside, if you can, the wrist issue, the chronic wrist issue that Horwitz had before the trade, only to come up with what was described by the doctor via Cherington as a new problem or a new injury that forced him to get shut down again. Horwitz is supposed to be back probably a couple of weeks into the regular season. So by every accounting, this battle, if you want to call it that, for first base, which at the moment feels more like a general tryout, will only take place to fill out a couple of weeks of Horwitz being out. But in this process, what has to be stressed, and I really believe this, is that the Pirates themselves consider Horwitz to be a platoon first baseman. How do I know that? Because in my time there last week, in one of the sessions with Cherington, the GM very clearly talked about how to replace the left-handed at-bats that had go missing. Maybe he didn't mean to say it in a way that labeled the guy a platoon player, but that's the only way to interpret that. So you have And I say this not in a mean way, but you have a damaged goods platoon, little power, overaged second-year player in the majors as your mainstay first baseman. And while he's out, you have him being replaced by like a parade of people, most of whom are not even first basemen by trade. Now, why do I say such things? I mean, it's hard, okay? It's hard, and I tried, okay? I've given it a real effort. I really have. I don't know how much credit you'd be willing to give me for this, but I went down there with I thought, a pretty good attitude, and I talked to everybody in sight, and I considered a lot of good things that I hadn't previously considered. That's just the vibe when you're in the setting. That's just normal. That's human nature. I'll actually never fight that. I never want to fight that. If they're feeling good, I want to know why they're feeling good. But then, you fly back north and you think about things, and you think about them in a more distant, and it's safe to say more impartial way. And I can look at first base and see, hang on, I already forgot this dude's name, Derek. D-A-R-I-C-K Hall. Derek Hall is his name. He started the Pirates Grapefruit League opener against the Orioles. He's in the running to fill in temporarily for someone who is a platoon, low power, all that other stuff. This is a franchise that does not take winning or competition seriously. That is my assessment of the first base situation. These are not serious people. These are not competitive people. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Chase Everly, who asks, DK, will Johan Oviedo be back this season? If so, will he come back to the starting rotation, or will he be a bullpen arm now? Chase, he wants to be back in the rotation. I'm going to start with what Johan wants. We had a good talk while I was down there. He's somebody I know better than most of the people on the team, which might surprise you considering his lower profile. But yes, he is a determined individual. He is a fiery competitor. You might have picked up on some of that as his summer of 2023 went along before he got hurt. And he wants to be all the way back. He has no interest in having Tommy John surgery define his career or his role. Now, that said, it's not going to be up to him. And what's more, I did not get the impression from either Ben Cherington or Derek Shelton that Oviedo was some sort of lock to open this season. And I'm not sure if that's what you were asking when you said, will he be back this season? He's absolutely going to be back. He's throwing baseballs right now. He's pitching, meaning off of, Pirate City mounds and so forth. The Pirates themselves, the management people, don't seem to feel that he's in a spot where he can just instantly be part of the active roster. So you're probably going to see him open up, I believe, in Indianapolis, in which case I'm not sure why you wouldn't have him start in Indy, even with Tommy John and everything else. because you'd want him to be stretched out. You'd want him to be available for a longer role. And of course, you'd want an ideal setting for him to be able to become a starter again. But I have not heard anything that would suggest that the Pirates are thinking about him long-term as a reliever. There are plenty of pitchers who return from Tommy John now and resume starting. They don't all get relegated to the pen. In fact, most of them don't. Most of them end up going back into what they'd done previously. I think this could be quite a plus for the team over the course of the 2025 season if Johan were able to make his full comeback and perform as he had been doing previously. This is a big dude who can do a lot of good things for you on the mound, including, as uncomfortable as this might sound after his surgery, eating innings for you, because he was that type before the surgery. And I'm going to keep saying this. I don't see the 4 and 5 spots in the rotation as locked down by anybody. I mean, yeah, you've got the two lefties, Bailey Falter and Andrew Heaney, and you've got, of course, Bubba Chandler, the top prospect. But I don't sense that anything is super set there. Yes, Heaney's going to be in there. Okay, Heaney's going to be one way or another in there. Falter probably is too, but over the course of a summer, when other pitchers, like it or not, are going to get hurt, I think you're going to end up needing Oviedo more than it might seem at the moment. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody checking out Daily Shot of Pirates. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow.